We are delighted to have you join us for part 1 of a 2-part series entitled Param Guru Shri Mahendra Babaji, Vegetarian, prophesying Haidar Khan Babaji's return. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, a legendary yogi who was called Haidar Khan Babaji appeared frequently in northern India in the Himalayan region. He was said to possess all of the yogic siddhis, supernatural powers, and the people who met him would experience a deep bliss in his presence. The last time he was seen was in 1922, when he disappeared before a group of his students in a ball of light. His return was foretold by a great 20th century prophet and saint, Shri Mahendra Maharaj Babaji. Shri Mahendra Maharaj, popularly known as Shri Mahendra Baba, was a Siddha yogi, an ascetic with supernatural powers. He traveled across the Indian subcontinent professing the coming of Shri Haidar Khan Babaji, who was acknowledged as one of the manifestations of Shiva Mahavatar Babaji, the famous immortal saint who revived Kriya Yoga. Mahendra Baba's mission was to pave the way for the re-emergence of Babaji in a physical form from 1970 to 1984 in Hairakhan, Uttar Pradesh, India. Shri Mahendra Babaji was born at the turn of the century to a Brahmin family in Manikpur, Bihar. The story goes that Mahendra Baba was healed by a vision of Shiva Mahavatar Babaji and the Divine Mother in his childhood. Mahavatar Babaji's darshan impressed the child so deeply that he started praying regularly to the enlightened master. Shri Mahendra Babaji had 2 subsequent visions. On his 5th birthday, Babaji appeared and proffered candy to the boy. When he was about 14 years old, the great master manifested before him again and spent 6 days and nights transmitting yogic knowledge to the teenager. It was a life-changing experience that left an indelible imprint on Shri Mahendra Babaji. Sometime after that event, Shri Mahendra Babaji, then still a minor, left home to look for his beloved Guru, Shiva Mahavatar Babaji. But he was assiduously tracked down by his parents and brought home to complete his education. After graduating with a Master of Arts degree in philosophy, Shri Mahendra Babaji withdrew from the world for good. He became a sannyasi and devoted himself wholly to searching for and worshipping his Guru, as well as to practicing the yogic disciplines that Babaji imparted to him. According to Paramahansa Yogananda's autobiography of a yogi, Shiva Mahavatar Babaji resided in the Himalayas for hundreds of years. Yet he was sighted in person by only a handful of his disciples and a fortunate few who had the merit to meet him. Shri Mahendra Babaji's search for Mahavatar Babaji, the Guru of his childhood, took him across the Himalayan regions of Nepal, Tibet, and into China. He crossed India 7 times on foot and lived through some arduous times, particularly in South India. All the while, he performed prayers and practiced austerities. Shri Mahendra Babaji eventually settled in the ancient sanctuary of Ambaji in Gujarat, spending many years at a temple there. Through his tireless work and spiritual fervor, he gathered many students on the spiritual path and was recognized duly as a saint of great repute. We will continue this inspiring story after a brief interlude here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Param Guru Shri Mahendra Babaji, Vegetarian, Prophesying Haidar Khan Babaji's Return, Part 1 of 2. Some 25 years after Shri Mahendra Babaji began his quest to find his Guru, Shiva Mahavatar Babaji, a vision prompted him to return to Almora on the Kumaon Hills to seek out Babaji. There, in the home of one of the locals, he saw a photo of Haidar Khan Baba, whom he recognized right away as the great guru of his visions. He then visited Babaji's Siddha ashram. Locking himself in a room, he resolved to stay put and fast until he got a darshan, vision, from Babaji. Seeing his determination, Babaji appeared in the flesh and blessed Mahendra Baba again, ending his decades of intense searching and longing. Shri Mahendra Babaji then undertook the mission of preparing for the return of Babaji to the world in physical form, as ancient scriptures had long foretold. He gave details of Babaji's physical appearance, including the scars on Haidar Khan Babaji's right leg and left arm. He spoke about Babaji's divine presence on earth since time immemorial. From the advent of religion, Babaji has instructed gurus and religious teachers throughout human history, manifesting a body for each appearance without resorting to human birth. Shri Mahendra Babaji emphasized that the incarnation of Sada Shiva as Haidar Khan Babaji at this present time would constitute a turning point in human history and result in the birth of a new consciousness. Haidar Khan Baba would later acknowledge that he was Shiva Mahavatar Babaji, who had become well known in the West through the sweet labor of Paramahansa Yogananda. Fulfilling Shri Mahendra Babaji's prediction, Babaji appeared as an 18 or 20-year-old youth in the Kumaon foothills opposite a village called Haidar Khan in 1970, in a remote cave known to be sacred for thousands of years. The villagers there saw him in different forms, appearing sometimes as an old man with a long white beard, or as a handsome youth with no beard, or as a young man with a long beard. He had no known parentage or established source of learning, yet he knew the scriptures intimately. He could go without food for long periods, yet he had unbounded energy. Once he meditated continuously for 45 days at the top of Mount Kailash without stirring from his seat. Haidar Khan Babaji's disciple Sita Rami wrote, Babaji has come to the world to remove the bonds of sorrow of man, to change their hearts and minds, to bring in the golden age of truth. From his infinite mercy and love, his teaching comes this teaching, so simple, so powerful, capable of dissolving all the sins of the world, yet natural, intimate to one's inner essence, the basis of all religions. Haider Khan Babaji said,
I am everywhere, in your every breath. I am come to help you realize unity beyond division. I will show you a freedom you have not imagined. You must seek that unity where there is an awareness that we are all one and the same. You should seek harmony in all that you do. I am harmony. If you are in peace, I am in peace. If you are troubled, I am troubled. If you have problems, I have problems. If you are happy, I am happy. Be happy. Have faith. Everything depends on faith.
In August 2019, Supreme Master Ching Hai also spoke of the great compassionate Master Babaji.
All the saints since time immemorial, whether or not they incarnate on the planet in a human body or invisible, or they live forever. For example, like Babaji in the Himalayas, whether or not they live forever in the physical body or in the invisible manifestation, they always thinking of us and wanting to help us. That's the only thing they do, helping all sentient beings. It's just that sentient beings cannot always perceive it or receive it fully because of obstruction of karma, ignorance, or all kind of false conception or thinking.
Noble viewers, it's been a pleasure to have you with us today.